It's okay. Uh, as the team wanders into the next stage of events where more or less they cause themselves, more or less, you manage to enter into Brudelheim, a various place where to collect a sword that you heard about. However, along the way, when you spoke to people, they were more or less skittish. And reasonable enough, understandable enough, you wanted to ask, hey, why are you scared? But instead of that way, Thane read their minds and said something about, and heard something about the guards. And immediately you asked the scared people, hey, what's your deal with the guards? So they left. Not a roundabout way of doing that, which is fine. But instead of more or less working things through, you went over to the guards. Didn't accost them technically until later on. But they continued to do their job, and when you tried to interact with them, they said, go along your way. Not liking that, you tattled on Aster, current king of the kingdom, not using his title just yet. And, well, things went from bad to worse to worse. Longhorn came about more or less, not jovial, but in a more charismatic way, presenting himself as a leader. When that happened, still didn't trust them, which is fair, and you went along to find out what his father was buried, as Alpani was to deliver a message, but no longer technically able to do that. You read the message beforehand, he was ill, and, well, things were kind of not that great for him, but overall, it was understandable that his time was coming to a close, but not so dramatic. However, when you discovered the grave site, there was various other graves very, very close together, and Aster was able to determine that they were not consecrated, which means that no ritual rites or last words were given, which, you know, is a problem, especially in D&D terms, or else you go into, I think it's called the Wailing Wall? I forget what it's actually called. But, no, regardless of any of that, seeing more and more concerning factors, you guys went over to Longhorn and demanded an inquiry without actually giving providence of paperwork or the like. But he went along with it, more or less wanting to see what your intent was, and, well, he seemed to be answering truthfully, but after a while, he was just not tired of you, but fed up with you, just demanding more and more from this man. So he asked his guards to keep an eye on you and was going to continue along his work. Aster said, take more and more step and you'll see what happens. He, like, in between that point, he was talking over you and said good day and walked away. So you guys immediately charged. Along the way, you killed Vice, his lieutenant, a lot of other guards. In fact, all of the guards in town remaining. But you can tell that a lot of them were, like, hyper-focused on, air quotes to you guys, protecting the people. And we're not going to back down on that. So you were still being attacked by them, which is fair, but then you just immediately slaughtered them all, leaving only Longhorn left. You met West, the one Aster keeps calling, what do you keep calling him, an archmage? Which he is not.
Hedge mage. I keep calling him hedge mage.
Which he is not, which he keeps saying multiple times, but regardless of that, you're now in his formerly acquired home from the city itself. No longer technically has it since the authority has been brought down. You also have one other individual that was working with Longhorn, a robe disguised short person, which I accidentally said goblin. Honestly, the token is not able to be hidden anymore. You told him to go into the second floor. Here he is again. And if they were trying to escape, you would hunt them down and murder them. They believed you. So they're now on the top floor, and Thane is keeping an eye out for them in case they do try to run. And this is where we left off. Longhorn unconscious, Yoko, Aster, Alpani, Thane a little bit in between the building, a little bit out of the building to keep an eye out. Just ready for questioning. mean, that's true. Oh, funny, but Aster's not a cop. He is the king, but he's not a detective.
But I mean, seriously, we gotta say that the right way.
Yeah, that's
we
fair.
wait the ruling authority here out. No fucks given. Pardon my French. Not really.
Truly none. But regardless of that, right now you're in the process of questioning, air quotes. Right now he's unconscious, down to 0 hit points since you didn't deal a fatal blow. Wes was trying to hide him, purview. Honestly, just Aster saying, hey, take him to your house. Not knowing what to do with him, he was just trying to hide him with blankets. You guys got there, and Aster's ready for questioning. Or anyone else, honestly. You know, it's a conversation. Who wakes him up? I think the last thing you guys did was like tie his hands and stuff.
We took off his I dispelled the magic item on his arms and took the item itself.
You took the broken pieces that were disenchanted and bound his hands. I'm gonna say you probably bound his feet too.
Tied him to the kitchen chair.
Okay. Wes says that's fine. That's the only chair in the house, but it's quite all right. It's technically not my home. Technically not my home anymore either, since Longhorn is no longer in charge. It's all right.
Wes.
Yes.
Wilder, whatever you'd like me to call you. Before we get started, I would like you to understand that, well, I am King Aster, recently crowned. The message does not seem to have made it here, and that is one of the injustices that we will be looking into. I just didn't wish to surprise you with this information when we started asking Longhorn his questions.
All right. No surprise given, but information is still good information, regardless of any events. Congratulations,
Also,
I suppose, on the entitle. What's the proper term? It's not entitlement. Is it?
Coronation?
Well, yes, but you've also been given the title. I'm not honestly sure. But coronation will work.
Hedge mage is the term that I has advised my representatives to use to refer to wizards not trained within common society.
I don't remember the rules you gave me. Is that true?
I didn't actually have like a aristocracy, like a ranking system for them.
You can say it's true. It's fine. But I don't remember that at all.
It's not like a law. It's not like a law, so it's not covered in the laws book.
It's like basic standards of, hey, you can impersonate someone that has been governmentally sanctioned as a wizard. I'm assuming.
Well, there's specific rules for magic too, but yeah.
Yeah. I'll take note of that, I suppose. Still don't like the term, but very well then.
If you don't like it, we can workshop it. It's not meant to be an insult. It's meant to be a simple ranking, term of address for someone not taught by the common schools. Again,
it seems quite hierarchical, so don't care for it. But you are the king, so I suppose whatever you say goes.
Well, I'm open to ideas.
Oh, that's quite all right.
At any rate, thank you for the bucket of water and the washcloth. We might be utilizing it.
As Yoko gives
I
both.
was just joking about that.
I mean, they are there.
You don't have to be.
They are there. Wes was cooking before this started. Like, you see bits of carrots in the water.
God, we're gonna saute them. I mean, that's one way to do intimidation, I suppose.
I guess he was making a soup. Regardless, what do you guys do?
What, just dunk his head in boiling water?
Or act like we're gonna season him.
I'm not a cannibal. You can have all you want.
Damn it, I want Milo back.
No shit, yeah, I forgot he technically was.
In theory, he was. No, regardless, yeah.
No, technically he was, because in wild shape, I retained my intelligence.
Oh,
so
then
I was
yeah.
willingly doing that.
Yeah, you definitely were, I guess.
I will crack my knuckles and I'll lay the washcloth over his face just so he can't see anything that's going on, but I'm not gonna waterboard him just yet.
Yet.
I'm not taking the idea off the table.
I don't think anyone put it on the table. I think that was you, Master.
I put it on the table.
Have you woken him up yet?
I'm gonna lay on hands on him.
You put your head in the door, and he's currently has a washcloth over his head, and maybe massaging his shoulder. You're not sure. Looks more like a spa treatment, other than the bindings.
Are you about to beat his face in?
I could fix it if I did, but no, that is not the intended goal currently.
Aster, if you don't want to heal him, you can just do a medicine check and wake him up.
Oh no, I want to heal him. I want him to be brought back to life by my account and no others.
Okay. I think at this point your magic would have worn off because you guys weren't speaking for a while. So that probably would have been 10 minutes. So your truth spell would have been gone.
Yeah, we don't have fly anymore either.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. For some reason, I keep thinking fly is an hour.
No,
but that's invisibility, I believe.
Yeah. Invisibility. While he's talking, I'm just telling you what I'm doing while he's talking. I'm going to look at the different armors. I'm gonna go around the town collecting the guard, collecting the guards and putting them in one area and checking out their armors because he did say they were magical and stuff.
They're also super heavy. How strong is Thane?
I've got a 19th strength.
Aren't you a wizard?
I have a 19 strength.
Thane been out here benching bookcases.
That is a weird build.
Well, it's not a build. I didn't roll that stat. I technically have a 10 strength, but I have dominance of ogre strength power.
That is a weird build.
Oh, that's fun.
There's reasons once I get to a certain level and have access to certain spells.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying that's weird, man. But yeah,
wearing the bracers from Ocarina of Time or whatever.
Yeah. And regardless of that, though, you're able to bring them there. You can tell that they're eventually enchanted and highly fused with elemental properties. The electrical cage, by the way, that's protecting the villagers inside the not garden area, but harvest area, is still up, by the way. They're still terrified, huddled in the corner.
Is it magic? Because I would know whether or not it would be, the gate would have given off a magical aura earlier when I was close enough to learn these guards' armors were magical, because when I had detect magic up earlier.
I did tell you sense magic in that direction, so I'm going to assume you would have figured it out. Yeah, but it's not like someone's casting it. It's like something has been magically turned on.
I'm going to search for that.
All right, go ahead and do so. But you can tell that the armaments themselves have been infused with a protection against elements. So force, slashing, and piercing might still work, dependent on their class. But they're standard guards, other than the armaments. That being the case, though, the armaments are high, heavy builds, so definitely strong, sturdy people with heavy armor attributes or medium armor maybe can wear or don this armor. That being the case, though, you see no more swords on them.
Yeah, they watched Yoko pick them up.
Yeah. But what was your investigation?
Oh, I didn't hit it yet. I was waiting for talking. 23.
You do find like small little crystals inlined in the fence system. Like, unless you were looking for them, you would have not have seen them. They're like small little. What would be a good electrical color?
Blue.
Blue, yeah.
Sapphire.
Blue works well enough. Blue crystals like interlaced inside the cage. So you have to put your hand in there or like somehow get to them to either remove them or destroy them. Since you don't know how to turn them on or off.
I thought I took Mage Hand, but I guess I don't. Didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But while you contemplate that, Aster, you begin to heal this man for how much?
1.
Okay. With 1, he's like slowly, groggily opening his eyes. Not able to see anything thanks to blinding the man. What would be a good blind? I'm going to go with this. Makes sense. Blinding the man. They look around but clearly can't see anything and tied down. They can only assume who did this. So when they wake up, more not panicked but defensively taking their stride, they do state, "So what now? Do you plan to kill everything and everyone here?"
I will recast Zone of Truth.
Okay. For the purposes of this, I'm going to just say he fails. Eventually.
And I will also just choose to fail.
Yeah. Wes fails, Longhorn fails. Uphani, do you just like leave before Aster casts Zone of Truth?
Nope.
Okay. Eventually, Uphani may fail. It's hard to tell. But yeah, he asked the question.
I had never planned on killing anyone.
And yet you still did it at no recompense towards any action you have caused this day.
I will not sit here and be lectured by someone like you.
Someone like me that is here to protect the citizens of this place, rather than someone like you that have caused it to be no longer defended.
Everything I do is for the common people. I will see.
Then
that it
why
gets its
have you
protection.
murdered them?
The only person I struck during our engagement was you. You are the one who called your guards to spring forth. You caused their death.
I called them to protect the people. You brought your swords against them.
We did not bring our swords against the people. We brought them to you.
Without
will
a
state my
defensive
name.
measurement, sir.
My name is King
I
Aster.
don't care who you are. A king, a peasant, or a sellsword. Or what's it called?
Mercenary.
Mercenary.
No, it's a term. Like, sellsword, I think it's. Or
There's
sword.
cell swords and there's mercenary.
No, he would say sellsword.
Cell swords are the ones that travel alone and don't belong to companies of mercenaries.
Yeah, he would say sellsword. Or sellsword. Man, I lost track of his cadence. You doomed this town for your own devices. As a matter of fact, king or no king, this
How is the town doomed?
is
Enlighten me.
destructive.
I will have proper guards sent here. A new leader. in the
They
state.
had guards. They
They
had
had your
peace.
lackeys. They had lackeys who were loyal to you until death, even though they were seeing their friends so grossly outmatched.
They
Tell me.
had the will to protect the people, like so many do not. Like you, like your companions. So
Keep
why
accusing us of not being able to care for
do
the
you
people.
kill all simply for your own ideology? And if you are the king wearing that mask, then I was right to do what I needed to do that day. I knew that you and your brood changing things would cause such events. They were right to tell me and warn me before it happened.
See, now we're getting somewhere.
Yes, we
who told
are.
you all this?
I don't care. But they were right. And I am not going to answer such a hypocrite.
Well, I will be accused of many things. A hypocrite is not among them.
And yet you still killed the guards here without any true provocation other than potentially fear of the guards.
I did not kill the guards.
Then how do I not still feel a presence of security here? Is it simply because you put me somewhere else? Am I no longer in town?
Who?
The guards are far enough away that you would not feel them.
Roll deception. First lie, man.
Again, not necessarily a lie.
First lie.
Not a lie.
First a lie.
I would literally not be able to speak it right now if it was a lie.
Then you don't say it. What do you actually say?
Well, can I explain why it's not a lie?
Explain to me, because I don't see it being not a lie.
Because their souls are real far away in the afterlife.
No. Super
That's
no,
right.
Aster.
Okay.
Good try.
It's true.
It's true, but okay, if that's okay, what did he say? What am I supposed to be answering? I thought I was pretty clever for thinking that up, but maybe it is stretching it a bit too
it's
far.
stretching it too much for me.
I'll concede.
He just basically stated, then why do I no longer feel this area protected and guarded? Why have my men fall into your blade? And then you said something along the lines of, I did not kill the guards, which I'm pretty sure it's true because everyone else technically did.
I literally never struck a guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, he only fought Longhorn.
And then he simply stated, then why do I not feel their presence? Why, then do I feel such, isolation? Did you take me somewhere else? Outside of town?
Perhaps, just as we removed those bindings of yours, we have removed the bindings from the guards.
That's a weird way of phrasing it, but it'll do. He does state, then you have doomed so many.
Enlighten me how.
This isolated place, not born or bred of the hierarchy of the kingdom itself, only had so much to its name, to its safety. And you damn it all, just so you can replace it with your own. It is in a place far too dangerous for many, far too dangerous for the Commonwealth, and so far away from others that they do not care for it. It takes weeks to get from here to other cities, and the main cities themselves even more so. If we did not have our resource, they would not even bother. And even still, they give us pennies, other than a few caring merchants. And now, after the mines have gone nearly dwindled down, even less so then, and you take the guards, the safety away, and you try to present others here that would and don't care. That would not and don't care.
Question.
Yeah.
How loud is he talking?
Oh, he's like shouting.
So I can hear this.
You hear like rah.
Even though I'm like right next to the house with the
I'm gonna assume like you left the door open. You hear it.
I mean, I didn't close the door when I left. I just
Yeah, you guys are rude. You guys are rude, guests. Like leaving Wes's windows open, doors open. Heating bill is gonna be extreme. But you hear it. Yoko, you also hear it.
I used the mold earth to make one of the posts where the that little crystal's at to give way, so that it breaks the circuit.
Okay.
It breaks the chain.
You do so, and the crystal that was embedded into the post, like, bends, and I want you to go ahead and roll Arcana.
22.
Yeah, that's good enough. You bend it in a way where the crystal itself, like, embeds into the earth, causing enough dampening that the chain just, like, dismisses. The villagers are still panicked and in no way getting near you. But they are allowed to leave if you, I guess, allow them to leave.
I'll say you're free to go back to your houses.
They go a very, very roundabout way, not moving near you at all.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for the tallest building, and I'm gonna cast Fly on myself again, and I'm going to go the biggest building in the middle of town.
That would be the end.
Biggest,
2 stories.
Yeah.
3 stories.
I'm gonna get on the roof, and I'm going to watch, and just like watch for things that might be coming and going, creatures in the forest, and everything like that.
Roll perception.
7.
Okay. As you're looking about, seeing things, you do see like a whole bunch of things moving in the area. It could be like some of the people that are like hiding from you guys. It could be like some creatures here and there. You're not entirely sure, but you see a lot of movement here.
Like where? In the woods or in the town?
In the woods, in the town. You can't discern one way or the other what they are, but you do see a lot of movement. Like so much so that you lose track here and there on where it is or what it is. But it's very lively.
I'm gonna just keep an eye out while they're going, so I can't hear anything else.
Yeah. Alpani, is there anything you're doing?
Sorry, I was messaging someone.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, let's see. Do I have anything fun I can do with him? Probably not.
Concerning. Yoko gets everyone naked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yoko, after getting everyone naked, you get like 4 sets of medium armor and 4 sets of heavy armor and Vice's loincloth and coat.
That.
I just want to know. I can't remember. None of us are wearing armor, are we?
Aster is, kinda.
I have
Not
leather.
really.
Didn't
I
you
have
get some new
leather
wooden
armor.
armor or something?
No, I'm rocking my good natural armor plus some 2 AC boosting items and
Oh, right.
I did say kinda.
kinda.
I meant like-
Okay, roll deception, fucking liar.
Hey, if you're wearing items that give you an AC boost, I call that kind of armor.
No, I was just wondering because I was gonna. If any of us had armor,
Oh, I don't have a spell ready.
I was gonna see if I took one of the sets of armors that have the absorption. I was gonna see if after a certain amount of time I could transfer the enchantment to whoever had the armor. But I don't have any. I'm a mage. I don't wear armor.
Well, that
You
is that.
said there was a code or something?
It's Vice's coat. It's like, it looks like an owlbear, not a pelt, but inlined fur on the top. And then underneath it, it has like scalings of some type of lizard or fish. It's hard to tell. But it has like the texture of a lizard, but with the scalings of a fish. Like a very big fish. It's the best way I can
Okay.
describe it. Maybe a sea
And
bass.
do they have any loose change or trinkets or anything?
They carry no
looks like it
monikers
might
of
be
wealth.
worth some?
other than each of them having one moniker, but not of wealth, like no silver, gold, blah, blah, blah. They, surprisingly enough, they carry no money. But they do carry each of them one coin, but ceremonial coin. So you can sell it if you want to. It is made out of gold, valued price of 5 gold. But it does have a marker of an eye with a golden cross in the middle. But the cross itself is like intertwined with not webbing, but the best way I can describe it. No, yeah. The best way I can describe it is like Halloween webs, like outlined over it. Like a plus symbol in an eye, and like Halloween webbing over it. It's not, I'm just gonna say web instead of decoration. Eye, plus sign, webs all around it. Coin, all of them hold it. 5 gold per coin. If you
I'd
sell it.
eventually make my way back just to listen in.
They also carry like some daggers and 3 daggers and 5 crossbows. 20 arrows per crossbow. But Apani, did you think of anything?
No, because I don't have the spell prepared.
Okay, you just slap him, and we continue.
No,
You don't actually slap him.
I do have one thing I can do.
Okay.
So, Apani is just gonna kind of look at Longhorn and shake her head, walk up to Aster. Good luck with questioning him on your stuff. Can you also try to find out what happened to his father? The actual truth, that is. And she'll pat Aster on the shoulder and walk out, which she casts guidance on him.
Okay. You do so, and West, before you leave, more or less, like he's been doing, well, he more or less did state in a roundabout way what he did, but I suppose asking him directly would work as well.
Wes, no one likes a smartass. But, you know, lightning can strike more than once in the same place.
Fair enough. I'm not sure if you're threatening me, but okay.
To be honest, Wilder, I don't quite know what she meant by that either. Is there something that you picked up on that I am missing?
Well, he didn't directly say, he's whispering now, say it, but he did state the fact that in an aggressive manner that he was correct in the actions he did before you arrived. So I'm assuming that's the implication of he does the whole neck finger slash.
Killing your envoys.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the way that he said it after Alpani spoke was, I thought that he meant something along the lines of he axed his father. No, I definitely picked up he killed my envoys.
No, I was actually, you were correct, Aster. He was more or less guessing, or not guessing, but by the way Longhorn stated things, when he said, I was correct in the actions I did not too long ago. The way Wes was trying to not implicate him, but direct the conversation was that likely means he probably killed his dad. Like, it's possible he also killed the envoys, but that's not what Wes was implying.
Okay.
And he was also more or less implying that Alpani might kill him with lightning.
I did find out that he didn't actively kill the envoys. He told the goblin to get rid of them.
He told hooded persons that you now know one of them was at least a goblin.
I mean, I probably would have noticed what he was when I was carrying him in the air.
Yeah, sure. Technically, it'd be more hidden, but the token I chose is the token I chose. We move forward.
I forgot he was upstairs.
Yeah, still up there.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's not, because people left their posts. Anyways, Esther, anything else?
Fuck off.
Turn back to Longhorn. What has it that has you so in fear, concerned of safety and protection?
Looks towards the direction of you think he's like a little off, like by a foot, and he gives more or less by the way his face is the really look.
You were simply concerned that the king would send soldiers to subjugate a small town?
You get more or less the dumbfounded look by the question you gave, but he at this point does respond because he can clearly tell you don't understand. You assume. He does state, really now. What has happened here has only proven my point and the point of the one that has warned me. About a new king, a new sire. The son, the firstborn, being bred into the lineage and taking over control and changing things. I was told over the course of time that the new sire would change the things that were happening here. But based off of what I've seen so far, as you did call yourself king, it's clear to me what I was trying to do was for naught. As you still rampaged and ravished my town, just as easily if it was unguarded. Hopefully my people were safe. And the light prevailed through them, and maybe through them one day, they can clear this darkness.
We saved them a lot more than your guards bothered to.
Super no. But he does state, my guards see the light as well. They protect those that cannot protect themselves to the end. While my people may not understand that protection, it is needed in this place.
What is this light you talk about?
You're not in this building. You can hear him. He's still very loud. But do you
Yeah, I
like
mean, I
going...
would stick my head when he says this light, this light, and he keeps talking about the light. I would say, what's this? Stick my head and say what the light is.
Yeah, that's fine, Thane. It does seem like he's being dramatic, which is fine, but are you asking because you know context clues? More
No,
meta?
no,
Or are you just asking, like, what's this light?
Like, I know of light, like, entities of gods and stuff that control the light, and deities are sometimes
No, I get that,
light.
but by the way he's talking,
Thane
it's
is
like...
asking, the way he's talking, it's like there's some kind of other light that he's answering to. Like, is he answering to a certain god?
No, it still sounds like you're using meta knowledge, which is fine. But the way he's been doing it, it's more like a metaphor with like Aster being the darkness or the darkness of the crown in the city.
That's what I'm referring to. Is he talking about
light
as in the gods, or light as in something else, like good, being good and stuff? I'm not using any meta knowledge.
That's fine. But I just need a clarification because his character might not understand what you're going at.
Yeah.
And also, Wes does look like he's wearing 2 sunglasses.
I'm wanting clarification as he's calling Aster the darkness, and what he serves or him the light or something like that. I'm not referring to meta knowledge that Milo knew.
Okay. You say this, thank you for clarifying, and he does state, the light is the thing I protect. The thing I... how would he say this? The one that warned me. The one that seeks true recompense in this land. And in this land, the darkness clearly rules. But soon no longer.
Your father.
You cut him off.
father, did he fail to see this light of yours? Is that why you killed him?
My father believed too much in people, allowed our borders to be too open. Trusted merchants, merchants betrayed, and merchants themselves stole our supplies.
So, just because he trusted other people, you killed him.
My father did not understand what needed to be done, did not understand what was needed for the people. He simply believed that all would be well under the new ruling of the new king, when we were informed that the next sire would be chosen within a few months. And he believed that they would potentially prosper in the land, give guidance towards our people. But when I was truly trying to protect the city, truly believing in the kingdom when I went out to become a soldier, I saw the hardships. I saw and witnessed the burnings, the destruction of cities simply because they would not pay their due. And I saw my city in each one of them. And clearly I was right to listen to the light.
So, let me get this straight. You ventured out and saw the reign of the previous king. And you used that as your justification as to why you should not listen, or at least give chance to the next.
I saw the leadership of those with a crown, of those with title and those entitled. Instead of the ones with strength, the crown chose what would be done to the people, to enforce their laws, whether they be new or old, simply for their own purposes. The justification of thus was one of the reasons why I did what I needed to do, to protect them that could not protect themselves from the crown, from their rulership, and from their providence.
Didn't you just become king, Aster?
No, it's been like 2 weeks. There was like a whole bunch of...
That's what I'm saying. Like, didn't you just recently become king?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you became king after he had already gone out and
Yeah.
seen the
No,
old regime, but then decided not to give the new regime a chance to prove that they could change things.
Eyebrows.
Man,
So-
I kind of can sympathize with...
It's literally what
Man.
you did, Aster. But
yeah,
like,
no, I can... Again, I'm saying, like, I can kind of sympathize with, man, this shit's fucked.
yeah, but not so much of a crackdown. You gave leeway. Him more extreme.
Yeah, but him not even get this is basically him turning on anybody. Whoever they might be,
Nobility.
even yeah, but it's he didn't even get to give the chance for a new person that came and took care of the old evil shit a chance to prove themselves.
By the way he's talking, it's been months when he heard about a new king being crowned. So it wasn't Aster, like, he was like, nope. Like,
So he didn't even know Aster wasn't the one that was announced to take over.
No.
He think Aster was.
You guys can roll insight.
Under.
Have your characters figure it out, because you have information, good information, to, like,
No,
get things down.
I understand that the prophecy that he got happened before I even probably got to the capital.
There's a line or a through line here that is clear, but maybe not clear to the players. Like, Aster, I understand, but there's stuff there that your players, or at least your characters, would maybe understand.
I'll be lucky.
Okay. Also, It's fine now because I enjoy this natural 21. Toggle your guys' stuff to not advantage or disadvantage. If you don't mind. Because Lucky allows you to reroll and take whichever one. But if you already know you succeed or fail with the second one, it basically allows you to more or less tip the scales on your favor.
I was actually just going to reroll. I was going to wait for what you say. I have it roll twice for simplicity reasons, but yeah, I can toggle it.
It's
But
fine.
I was actually
We're
just
gonna use
re-roll.
this second one. I don't
Are
care
you
for
sure?
this.
I
Yes.
will re-roll it.
It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. But I've seen some people use like Lucky to get the second roll, and the DM's not being confident in going, do you mind untoggling it? Which I can see benefits to both because it makes things quicker. But the natural 20 here works because you would know what is going on. So, a few months ago, and based off of the information that Alpani has and it's given you already, the son was trying to prove himself. Thinking what else will get a good amount of this. Anyways. Prove himself before you guys ever got here, which likely means he went off to join the military, so that kind of thing tracks. During his excursions, he met with noblemen and leaders who are usually the ones that run in the military during this time, the ones with enough money and enough land to have titles, become knights, unless you prove yourself and are honorbound. That being the case, though, that's not that often. But he saw how they were destroying things, doing things, and ultimately burning the small cities down just simply because they found no use for them. When he returned home after his stint of being in the military, because often than not, families with enough wealth or land ownership, their sons and daughters somehow work underneath the kingdom for some time. So when he returned after his mandatory military service, he saw all this and realized that things would go bad if his city somehow tipped the scales. You then also learned that the mines were shriveling up, and his dad cut a raw deal with certain merchants that were just trying to get so much money. Unfortunately, though, this also became soon enough afterwards that the new king was to be announced in a few months, which was before Aster ever took the crown. So more than likely, your former brother was going to be ruler way earlier than most people knew about. So this gave credence or cause for him to really get moving. But when he mentioned the light and all that nature, you can tell that based off of all this information and all these things, it's some type of being or some type of person or maybe a deity that has been guiding him to this movement. And this was enough provocation to advance forwards. When he gave credence to these thoughts, he likely brought them up to his father, and based off of how he's wording it, his father more or less believed in people, wanted to make sure that give them a chance. But Longhorn, understanding how things have been happening, how he gave chances to leaders to truly decide on the good of the people, how that was going to play out, or at least how he believed it was going to play out. And with his father being the ruler, he had no choice in his mind. If he was going to do something, someone needed to leave. And likely that's when he decided to take out his father for the betterment of his people. And Aster, with your natural 20, you kind of understand that part. In a weird, warped way. But whatever funds he likely had, Thane, you can tell he spent it on the protection of his people, on any type of defense he could make. But that also meant he cracked down super hard on everyone too. No one seems to be malnourished, so he's taking care of them, but at the exact same time, he has restricted so many of their freedoms, which likely caused some of their grievances against the guards themselves. But none of them are hurt, none of them are injured. However, when you arrived and toppled that type of... what would be called? I guess it would be a dictatorship. Immediately, Alpani, you did take note that there were owlbears, like, just barely in the outskirts of the city that ate some people. So the place itself is quite dangerous. And very, very isolated, since normally those kind of animals or those kind of beasts would not be so willing to be so close to a city. Which means that the other cities likely do not have enough of a main road here to either care or to clear out the area to make sure that they're safe. This is the type of thing that Longhorn has thought through. And the provocation, or at least the action to do this from the light, or whatever this thing's true name actually is, but given the name light, this was enough justification for him to do what he does, to do what he did. And this is what you know. Someone potentially manipulated him in order for him believing, whether or not it's true, I'll let you guys decide, to protect his people. And I also don't know who keeps drawing a Longhorn.
I can sympathize with a lot of your concerns, Longhorn.
I'm sure you can.
Tell me, who is it that whispered
Oh, wait,
these
he
doubts?
can't say that. That'd be sarcasm, but he doesn't believe it. I highly doubt it.
Who was it that whispered these doubts into your mind? This light. Perhaps I can seek them out and find it.
Roll persuasion.
Don't forget, if this has happened within a minute, you have guidance.
I'm gonna say like at the cusp of a minute. So you still have guidance.
Okay.
I don't think you need it. Roll anyways.
But I'm gonna take it.
$30.
Yeah. Okay. Based off the information you have and things of that note, he looks towards you kind of still like not directly. Unfortunately, still blinded. I can't get over who drew it on his face. He does state the light spoke rather through. What would he say? He wouldn't use avatar. He would say like, what do you say?
Envoy.
Yeah, that would work. Thank you, Thane. An envoy. One by the name of Roy. And I'll give you the last name. He technically does know the last name. Roy Lufon. And if you do find him, I do hope he can guide you.
Or did you speak to Roy Lufon at? His appearance would also not go unappreciated.
Roll persuasion, disadvantage. Because I don't think he's willing to throw, I'm going to say Fran for now. His friend under the bus.
I'm going to use Lucky.
I think you can use Lucky, like, before you know whether or not you failed.
So
So you don't have to do it now. Oh, you can?
I can. It interacts in some weird ways. I'm just going to use it to make it a normal roll. but there is a much stronger reading of lucky that I'm not going to use because I don't like it.
Now I'm confused.
So lucky says you roll an additional die,
Yeah.
and you take the highest die.
Mhm.
So if you have disadvantage, you would roll disadvantage. Say that you use lucky. Roll a third die, and then take the highest of the 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the way that's worded, it's kind of iffy because it's kind of
That has been clarified as the actual official ruling, and
Really?
I do not like that. So I just don't do it.
I now remember someone actually used that in one of my games, and I just didn't understand, but I didn't care enough. But thanks for letting me know.
That is the actual official ruling. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
But I will also use the fact that I'm so charming and handsome to add a D8 to this.
Is that why you wear a mask?
Yes.
20.
Not wanting to throw his friend, I'm gonna go ahead and still use friend under the bus, but believing that he could potentially take you, you don't know why. Longhorn does state they were here at one point or another, but now they are not here. Thrusted into the world once more, and they did make mention of heading towards Luminera. I don't know if they are still there.
Remind me again what Luminaire is the
Luminera is the kingdom to the north. The north border of Aster's current kingdom. Yoko, which Roy are you talking about? Unfortunately, I named a lot of NPCs Roy.
the one
Yeah, I
in
was
town.
kind of
part
worried
the
that
army.
was the case.
They have different last
Yeah,
names,
the
but
soldiery guy. The sword guy.
sword guy. Are you talking about the one that killed his dad?
Yeah, that one.
No, different last name. But I guess I'm gonna change this Roy's name. I'm gonna just change it like barely. It's Troy.
Don't we already know a Troy, too?
Damn it, that's
No.
true. Maybe.
Do we? Or I mean, do y'all? I don't remember.
Yeah,
a Troy.
one of the triplets.
No, that was a joke name. I guess this one's also true. No, this one's Troy. You can negate the triplets. The triplets were honestly just nobles that were like pompous, but truly believed in the military. And they all had the same skill sets, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I just had in my notes triplets, level 3 fighters. They all had the same sheet, same health, same AC.
Wow.
Anyways, Troy is now Roy. Sorry, Roy is now Troy. So it's Troy Lufon. But yeah, that's what they said.
Longhorn, I appreciate your forthcoming. Know that what I did is not out of malice or hatred or a desire to subjugate. It is that I wish to see peace and prosper. Forgive me.
I will not forgive you for damning my people.
I will not see them damned. I hope that you can see them prosper from whatever afterlife you might watch from.
Roll a perception check. No. What's everyone's passive perception checks?
13.
17.
14.
All right, technically Asher, good enough, I guess. But Yoko and everyone else, including Alpani, who is currently not on map for me. Where did
They're
you...
down below the house.
Yeah, she kind of just wandered.
Oh,
She kind of took it on.
I know you're making tea right now, but do you remember her passive?
17.
Okay. I'm gonna curse right now. Well, fuck me. Everyone does hear before Asher like decisively kills this man, which honestly you're probably gonna do. You do hear like a and Yoko and Alpani, you do see someone just making a beat straight towards the big tree over here.
I'm gonna try and use my sword to cast Hold Person on him.
Okay. I honestly thought you were gonna try to attack him instead of cast magic. I don't know why I keep doing this. It's well.
No, for the moment, I might have something. Try to finish making my tea.
I mean, Yoko's probably still gonna try to hold person.
Well, something to assist.
Yeah,
Please
plant
don't.
growth about to see another
You guys
use.
already know my saving throws are bad. They're like 1 in 10.
It's a 17 save? Wait, what?
No, it should. I'm pretty sure it should only be a 14.
Should be only 14 unless Thane can ramp it up, I guess?
Well, 14 is my spell DC.
Well, it says in the description DC 17 wisdom,
Oh,
Oh, yeah, because you're
Yeah,
casting it from the
see.
sword, not the...
not the spell.
So yeah,
Yeah,
check check the staff itself. I know that it's a sword,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
what
a
my
rune staff.
sword description says.
So yeah, 17. Yikes.
it's 17.
I'm only 1 point away from being at a 17 DC right now. Spell DC.
But
Yeah,
the item's spell save DC trumps caster's save DC.
it does.
Yeah.
Unless otherwise specified.
Point out which direction they're going.
They're heading towards the big old tree. Like, you
Okay.
saw something like crash a window and are heading this direction. Like, they're moving fast. They're like a small little thing. Likely, the person that Thane, what's it called?
Captured.
Stork carried to this town. Not the town. Stork carried into the building and then told them to run up the second floor.
Okay.
Well, he needs to make a save for this. The whole person first.
I'm still buying time for Alpani too. I'll potentially
Oh,
help.
I have something.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to cast plant growth right in that area and wrap him
Slow
up
him
with
down.
it, at the very least.
All right. That's a good enough thing to like surprise him. So not deception, disadvantage on wisdom because he wasn't expecting it. It's 9. That's a 12.
He's just held there, motherfucker.
Stop making me roll saves. Immediately,
No.
this man was just trying to run, and he's like caught before he tried to ever climb like this small little ledge before the tree.
And where might you be going?
You guys did hear like the window
Fire.
crash, like Thane and
Yeah.
Aster, but yeah, you go ask him, and he says something in Goblin. Do you speak it?
He was speaking common earlier, though. He knows how to speak.
Balpani wasn't
Speak
there.
common or I'll break your legs.
Yoko, roll intimidation. You say it's somehow sultry, so somehow I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't know. It's a 2, man. But you can tell that your spell also inhibits them from speaking. But honestly, I don't really like that rule. because it inhibits a lot of things. So I'm going to say one of you ties him up strong enough that it's basically considered the whole person. So he can speak
like
again.
how paralyzed makes it to where they can't speak.
That is also true.
Well, I have rope, so
Yeah, tying him up, whatever. Holding the person. He does state, look, just let me go, and I won't bother you again. I was trying to run away, honestly, because your freaky mass friend went along the lines of, I hope you find betterment or something in the afterlife. And that was more or less my cue to run. And since I was next. Look, I don't want to die here. This isn't worth it. If you let me go, I'll tell you what I know. And if you let me go and live, I'll tell you the truth.
I think you should tell our friend what you know.
No! Longhorn told them the truth. And he's probably dead now.
here's the factor. You could either die by, a quick, painless death, if you want to keep arguing, or you could die a very painful death, and Alpani will snap her fingers and shapeshift. Well, wild shape.
Yeah.
What form am I allowed to take? I don't think we ever decided on that.
I think you can turn into like dire wolves, dire bears, dire wolves, bears, and the standard stuff. You can have like a unique thing too, Alpani, if you want.
I'll think about the unique one.
Yeah, just let me know the CR level and stuff.
She'll wild shape into a dire wolf.
Yeah, you do so, and they more or less pee their pants. Look. I can just tell you. Looks towards Yoko. You seem the most friendly here. Rolling a 2.
Yikes. I'm pretty sure Yoko has been... I think Yoko has the most notches, but sure, let's go with that.
He doesn't know that.
I know that, though, and I think it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Thane runs the corner and just sees like a dire wolf intimidating this small goblin man. And then the first thing you do here, Thane, when you round the corner is like, you seem the most safe here.
Okay, then. So what's... weren't you told to stay upstairs?
He doesn't listen very well, it seems.
He's more or less
Probably
like
not.
trying to hide behind Yoko but can't move. So you just see him like arch his head over towards you.
Where do you think you're going?
He can't move.
He's going back inside now,
Oh,
and I'll begin to drag him back toward the house.
you do so.
Need help? I can just carry him.
Alpani just grabs onto his like back of the neck and like drags him as a wolf cub.
I mean, that works. I'd have the strength then.
Yeah. By the time people get back, Aster, you saw people go over in that direction. Have you killed Longhorn?
I think, well, like right as they're all getting back, they walk into, for the crimes of assaulting a lord, impersonating an official, murder of a lord, hampering justice, treason.
Those are false crimes.
Wow.
He was the technical lord of the area, even though he did murder the other one.
Killed his
That's
father,
how-
So that one is technically true.
Okay,
Other than the pretenses
Yeah.
of the new laws, you are correct, Aster. But he doesn't know any of the new laws. But I suppose ignorance is not justification for breaking the law.
That I should be killed.
Look, I was trying to get away from you, Thane. That's why I had Alpani join the team the way they did. I was not going to have this happen twice. But yeah, under the new laws, Aster, you're telling the truth. Continue. Sorry.
hampering justice, treason, and I am going to say suspicion of slavery.
Looks at you heavily, wide-eyed. Like, where did that come from kind of face?
I sentence you to death. Is there a way that you would prefer?
Man to man, but it's clear to me that you are not one. Do what you must to let my people go. And he more or less hangs his head to show the neck. Clearly believing you are a vicious person.
Would you rather choose the stage or the weapon?
It doesn't say anything anymore. Like, you wait a few seconds to hear an answer. There is none.
Thane,
Yeah.
is there any more magical items on him?
Did I get any other senses off of him when I had to take magic up earlier?
Just
Other
the
than
bindings that were
band.
on his arms. That were removed and promptly destroyed.
No,
be
he
fixed
doesn't
later.
have any.
I mean, they're sweet tattoos, but no magical ink.
I mean, if they were magical ink, I would have gotten a sense that they were exerting magic.
I know, it was a joke.
No, I was talking to Yoko.
Okay.
I accept your challenge. If that is the method by which you would prefer.
Aster, you do know that that type of challenge does mean he's fully rested, and it's truly man-to-man instead of fighting a man at 1 health.
Yeah, no, that was not going to be the intent. Raise your head. We will see you healed and armed.
Aster, do you really want to do that? I say in a high-pitched voice.
I mean, technically, Aster is the one who beat his ass last fight.
Not without not heavy help, but without help from others.
I only hit him twice, and he took reduced damage from my thunder thing. And Yoko hit him once with Thunderbolt, and he took reduced damage from that. Other than that, all the other damage he took was from Aster.
But he now knows how Aster fights.
Just because you know how somebody fights doesn't mean you're gonna win.
It also does mean he's no longer going to be surprised. I will tell you, he is technically takeable. Technically. You did destroy the armbands now, so he is reduced, but he is technically, I'm going to tell you outright, higher level than you.
I can't pretend to be a just king, and I can't be offering people their own execution if I'm not willing to follow through on it.
Okay. I'm just going to remove a few things here. Okay.
So are we gonna imprison him, sleep, and then let him recover?
No. Tell me,
Oh,
do you cast spells of any kind?
I draw strength from the land, strength from the spirits. But I do not cast spells of intertwining with the weave.
Accept your proposal. Though we fight as soon as you are healed, neither of us shall get a rest, and neither of us are to use any sort of magic. Do you accept the terms?
That include enchantment-based as armor and swords and the like. True man to man, or do you simply cast philosophical words in between your sentences? Basically
I say
means,
no magic.
are you cheating?
I mean no magic. I will not cheat.
Very well then.
Does that
Perhaps
mean
my
your
people
armor,
do have a chance.
Does it mean that it's gonna reveal what you look like underneath the glamour?
Yeah, actually.
So he's gonna see your half-scarred body.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought when you were asking that, like, no, he's gonna have clothes on. He's not gonna be naked. But that's what you meant.
I will heal him as much as my lay on hands allows. That's 29 more points.
Mhm.
How is he looking?
Better. He's definitely not at full, but he is better.
I have 2 first level spell slots left, and will cure wounds him twice.
All right, go ahead and roll.
I'm kind of torn between this. Like, as me as Star, like, I don't want Astra's character to die, but Thane is like
Like you
thinking
got rid of
if
his armament, which was the main heavy thing. But again, he is slightly higher level.
Like, I'm torn to watch this fight. Like, I want Star wants Astra to live because he doesn't want the other player's character to die. But Thane's kind of like, huh? If he dies, my contract, I'm free from my contract and I can go on my way.
You hear like Jean's voice in your head. That is quite true, honestly. And perhaps if you do revive him, he was technically dead, so the contract is null and void. You would stand as equals, perhaps. You consider
What a loophole. What a loophole.
Die, Astra. You just gotta die. I'm sorry, brother. You just gotta die.
Says the DM,
That's all he
trying to
needs.
get Thane out of prison. Okay.
Does that put him at full?
It puts him at half health, which honestly, you are also kind of hurt, and you don't have your spell healing air quotes left, so it's about even.
He's only at 45 health. Astra.
I'll look back to Alpani, Yuko, Thane, West, the Goblin.
Currently, like, bound in air quotes, Alpani's jaws.
If any of you can provide this man aid so that his wounds might close, I would ask that you do so.
Not my kind of magic, sorry.
Nope.
I
got
mainly do illusion, enchantment, and clerical. Well, not clerical per se, but am in the process of learning clerical potential magic. No healing yet, though.
I mean, going off what Alpani's doing right now, she might be able to help, but she's kind of busy. You want to hand the goblin to me, Alpani?
Woof.
Oof.
The goblin is more or less thrown towards Thane. They're like,
I'll catch him and hold him.
yeah, you do so. They're like super terrified right now, not saying anything again.
He's not touching the ground.
Not touching
he's
the
just
ground.
dangling. I've got my arm out a little bit, just sitting there dangling him.
So Alpani will shift back. What's going on?
I mean, you were a direwolf, but you understand what was going on. Longhorn said, well, Aster said, how would you like to die? Being quartered in the public or straight through the neck? And Longhorn said, man to man, but clearly you're not one. And like put his head down to be like cut up there and then. And then Aster more or less going, yeah, I'll take that bet. Begins to heal Longhorn. And then Aster asked anyone here if they could potentially heal him to his max health. Right now he is at 45, which is pretty good, but it's not his max. You can also just lie, Alpani. But since you're back in the zone of... No, at this point, zone of truth is gone again. You can just say, oh, sorry, I'm fresh out, if you want to.
This guy could just take a short rest and use up all his healing dice. Well, hit
You can
dice.
just
In a chair.
Well, I have one spell I can use to heal. I don't have any of my other healing spells really at the ready. And she'll cast a level 1 healing word on him.
Okay. Better than nothing.
so he's at 50 hit points now.
It's pretty good. No longer bloodied, so he's more or less good to go. So, Aster, where do you take this man? Or do you fight in West's house?
Tear the house down!
I'm gonna give him 3 healing potions.
He doesn't take them. He can do nothing against the magic, but he doesn't take the potions.
While you're sorting out this situation, I'm going to go and do something. I'll be back.
Okay.
And she'll walk away.
You do so.
Do you find yourself in proper straits enough to fight, given the terms laid out?
Proper enough. But I can't go against your magic. I will not take your potions from an enemy. Doesn't trust you.
Well, don't complain when he kicks your ass a second time.
Is
Looks
regrettable
in your
you feel
general
that way.
direction, still blinded. But yeah,
It's regrettable you feel that way. I would have liked to ensure that you're as 100% as possible given the terms, but I can do nothing to cure your bullheadedness. And I'll untie him. No sense in breaking perfectly good ropes.
yeah, you untie him. I think it was the West ropes anyway, so you could have ruined them, and he would have just said, "Oh, they were my ropes. But that's
Pawnee.
fine. I could have gotten more." Oh, Pawnee? Okay.
Oh, no, wrong person.
no.
Never mind, they were west. Pawnee ropes are on the goblin. Never mind.
Okay.
And to Yuko and Thane, seeing that Alpani is now no longer here, if he tries to run, show him no mercy.
Of course.
Longhorn, you will start at one end of the bridge, and I the other.
Next to your friends, I see.
Prevent you running.
Sure. As if I had true intent to run from the man that looks at all the dead bodies
Thane, Yuko,
that butchered my people.
do nothing if I am to die here. Simply go back and tell my sister what transpired. She will understand. After that, Thane, you are
will.
released.
After I kill
appreciate-
him.
What'd you say? Aster.
Yoko was...
I said, go back and tell my sister what happened, and after that, Thane, you are released.
Not a problem.
Win-win. But Yoko, you were saying?
I will. After I kill him.
Yoko's the
Longhorn.
worst diplomat.
Longhorn, whenever you are ready.
Yoko is
Yeah.
just extremely loyal to Aster, apparently.
More combat. But Apani, what are you doing at the big tree? Okay, they might have just left
Sorry,
him.
I got distracted by a stream.
Okay.
I'm actually going out to... Because you said there, like, I saw quite a few owlbears around.
Yeah. You saw one current that was formerly, you now have a pelt of an owlbear, remember that? That was attacking the town, but as you wander at the big tree, are you like looking for more wildlife?
Yeah, I'm looking for any beast or fey.
Okay. Roll investigation, I guess.
Yay.
You find a
Nothing.
dire rabbit. Some muscly, vicious, 3-foot tall rabbit, like looking towards your direction. They give you a mauled smile, crackly kind of thing, and then they begin to hop into the woods.
Okay.
I would have had a roasted rabbit right there.
Well, I'm actually looking for the beast or fey type for a reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
With the
that's for
4,
my-
you can tell that there's beasts around with that dire rabbit, but currently, like nothing massive here other than the dire, not the dire wolf. That was you. The owlbear.
That was me.
But
no, that's why, because I was trying to find some of the beasts to possibly win some favor to, I guess, set up maybe a little bit of a fighting force here.
good to know. But you do so, and you might eventually find one that's not off the table just yet. But we are likely going to start with Aster and Longhorn's fight. But we'll do that in 5 minutes. I need to give my cat their medicine. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll switch to phone then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have a cigarette.
Fucking done. his ring, his cloak, sets aside the sword. The last thing to remove is the clothing, which as he removes it, the glamour fades and it looks less and less like armor and more like the simple cloth that it is. And yeah, he does kind of have that. I believe his name was Yushihiro from Rurouni Kenshin. It's all, again, if you've ever seen like what like leprosy looks like, it's just that. A lot of it is covered in bandages. He's literally like falling apart in places. Keeping his shield on, though, he turns and faces Longhorn.
All right. You see that without, honestly, anything to remove other than maybe his pants, technically shorts, but whatever, he takes a defensive posture, like getting ready for you to strike. Go ahead and roll initiative. All right. Initiative plus 3. 19. Okay. You see him take a defensive stance against you, leg out, ready for sweeping. Back leg positioned in case something from behind were to attack, because he still doesn't trust you or your friends, comrades, companions, or other, whatever you consider Thane. And they just seem to prepare themselves for your strike. Aster.
Aster will take...
so he's no longer blinded.
Yeah, I figured he would scrape the cloth off at some point. Aster will get halfway down the bridge, call to him. Are you scared? Is this not what you asked for? Come at me, and I'll take the dodge action.
Okay. On his turn, he simply states, "You are the one that called for blood. I'm not going to be the one that draws it first." Here you go.
What is it? Stalemate.
Stalemate. Fight over.
Then I will draw no blood. And yeah, I'm gonna move in, and I'm gonna roll for a grapple.
Okay.
Yuko already figuring out what my plan was this entire time.
All right. Honestly, he was just preparing to take a defensive strike against your first strike. So he just have his advantage, I guess. Both of those beat you. You go in for a potential chokehold, and he... Alex, 13. Go in for a potential chokehold. I'm assuming he rolled lucky. And he just...
No, I'm just doing it again.
Oh, yeah, 2 attacks. And smashes your hands into the air and waves them for you like he just don't care. You go in for another strike and only had advantage in the first one, so normal roll. 27.
God.
I will action surge.
All right, and he brings the elbow onto your arm to cause you to misdirect. Going in with an action surge, just trying to get this man.
And this is a restraining strike now.
Yeah, okay. Roll off. Roll again.
No, because I get a +7.
Fine. Then he'll just use reaction. Aster, go ahead and... Huh. You would be aware of him attacking, so no disadvantage. Go ahead and roll... No, he just has to hit. What am I talking about? 16 doesn't hit.
16 does hit.
What?
However...
Oh, yeah, you're right.
However, I assume restraining strike, like, happens.
Yeah. You managed to grab onto this man, but as you do so, he uses the reaction, which no longer the gauntlet, so no magical effects happen. He, like, elbows you heavily into your stomach.
Okay. He has disadvantage from restraining strike. He is restrained.
Rolling again. 14. But I guess he misses.
That is a miss, which means I will use my reaction to parry and attack him. Now with advantage.
Restrained? Yeah.
He's restrained. I'll go my advantage.
It's riposte, not parry.
Sorry, you're right.
You're not carrying a sword.
That's an unarmed strike.
None of those hit.
Okay. Then
You go in for the jab in the jaw while you have one arm choking him, but he continues to move back and forth.
All right. I will pull him back into the middle of the bridge.
And then drown him.
And then, yeah, I'm going to try and shove him prone. Again, with advantage because I now have him restrained.
Okay. I'm assuming athletics versus athletics.
He can use acrobatics if he would like.
He's
and I
more muscly. So that's 28 for you since, grappled. I'm failing now. And you bring him to one knee.
Only dexterity. Okay. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Currently prone in this measurement, he tries to break free. So I'm assuming another athletics?
Yep.
Again, however, if he tries to just break the grapple, that actually uses his action.
I'm aware.
Okay, then yes.
Can he attack you while grappled?
He could, but it would be currently at disadvantage.
By grapple, that does make sense.
Well, grapple doesn't give it the disadvantage, it's the restraint.
Yeah, he's restrained, not grappled.
I have the big meaty grapples.
Okay. So the restraint is what causes disadvantage.
Yep.
Okay. You do so, and honestly, he's just gonna try to punch you. 26 and 22.
Both hit.
Okay.
That's one hit with advantage. Never mind.
I mean, both would theoretically hit.
Yeah.
All right. He goes in for a no longer unarmed strike. Jabs heavily into your side. You take 11 points of damage as he jabs in once. He goes in again for another strike, just aiming directly towards your appendix. 25, 19, both hit, I'm assuming?
Yep.
And for 13 points of damage, it sinks in. When this happens, you can tell that he is primarily going into some type of rage. And using a bonus action, he will also do Fury of Blows.
He's a monk.
19, 31.
Natural 20, but luckily it's disadvantaged
Yeah.
still. Holy shit.
Slams into you again for 12 points of damage. And the second strike. 20 and 26. And smashes in again for 11. Aster. You have this man prone down while he's like uppercutting into you, so it's hard to dodge, really.
Is he in the water yet?
You just said you proned him. You're technically on the bridge.
I was trying to, like, when I say prone, I was trying to get him, like, prone into the water.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna assume at this point, in this turn, you like are able to move him into the water. So you do so. To submerge him truly, you would have to get in the water yourself, and the water is 5 feet deep. You can do it. It's perfectly acceptable. It all depends if Aster wants to get wet. Weird way of phrasing that. Take it back.
It was, yes. I mean, we'll get wet and wild. Aster will take a deep breath because he knows it's coming.
Mm-hmm. Yoko, I'm doing things thematically, but he's not also just a monk.
I will use a second wind.
Uh-huh. All right. With your second wind, you begin to restride yourself, compose yourself, gaining 8. Sorry, 8. What am I talking about? Why am I shortchanging you? 10 points of health back.
And I've got him submerged now.
Yeah, he's like submerged, but not fully choked out. Definitely still has disadvantage. That is for sure true. And he's now, what is this con? Slowly drowning. Very slowly drowning.
I mean, they both are.
Yeah, Aster's technically standing up. So Aster's fine. Aster, are you taller than 5 feet?
Yes.
You're fine.
Much.
Yeah, we've gone over that one before, haven't we?
I think so.
And yeah, I'm just gonna start like laying some blows into him to try and like get some air out of him.
All right, I'm assuming lay on hands is a bonus action, so you still have your actions left.
Sorry, second wind, but yeah.
All right, second wind. Is second
didn't use
wind bonus action?
Nope. The second wind is a bonus action, yes.
Okay.
It's just not. It's specifically non-magical.
Yeah, I know some classes like give you some free stuff you can do, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
But yeah, restrained. So go ahead and punch him or kick him, like Yogo does. 24 does hit.
And kind of a moot point, but I'm doing it for the extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tripping attack.
That is a weird way of... It doesn't help tripping him at this point, but extra damage is extra damage. So you clock into his leg, causing it to more or less get pins and needles through it. Man, you're an awful person, Aster. Having that while also swimming, terrible if you ever dealt with it. I'll guess I'll reduce the time for him to drown. It's still gonna be a while, but he's drowning faster.
And again.
Okay. 23 does it. All right. More pins and needles as you're just trying to get him to stop holding his breath.
Action surge. That's my last action surge for the record.
Okay.
And again.
Ooh, 26 obviously hits. 23 hits, so a higher number would sure hit. And you jab into him. 9, 8, 17. 17 plus 6, that's 23. And then 31. 36. 40. You can tell this man is heavily hurt, but still barely on his legs. Well, knees, I guess. Alright, unfortunately, 15... Oh, wait, advantage to attack. 22 does it. What was the last number I gave you?
43.
I don't think that's true, but I'm going to assume you know the math better than I did. I did it quickly.
Oh, no, sorry, I'll just do it again. 11, 15...
Like, what's the total damage?
All of it.
I know what that... Yoko!
So it's actually... Total damage is 50 on the dot.
I am so glad he's more than just a monk. You can see that this man is heavily hurt, but he's still barely standing. He took a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but another couple attacks like that, even less than a couple attacks like that, could bring him down, but he's...
Raging.
Maybe. Another couple attacks like that will bring him down, but he's just like barely striving in to your blows. I will tell you that the armaments did reduce magical properties down, but he might have other things physically from his class that reduces bludgeoning specifically down.
And that'll be turn.
Okay. I wasn't going to give you that much of a hint. That would be cheap.
We all figured it out. We all figured it out immediately.
Figured it out
I know.
immediately. When Hunt said he did 50 over 50, and you said he's still alive, yeah, he's raging. And you said the rage earlier, he's definitely raging.
I know. I'm trying to be cheeky. Not working. Still has disadvantage because he's slowly drowning. Honestly, even more so. I'll reduce the time, so... Oh, he doesn't have that much longer anymore. So he's going to just try to get into Aster's face for one last hurdle of blows before probably he goes down. 13 doesn't hit, 18, so 13 doesn't hit with his first strike.
Parry.
Okay, then ignore the 17 for now. 16 or 19, 19 does hit. So you just jab into him. +4. Okay. I'm assuming you can do that not in your turn. So you just...
Parry's a reaction.
No. I mean the +8 damage.
Yeah,
that's from parry.
Okay.
That's the martial die that you roll when you use a martial action.
Cool.
That one's from parry itself. That is not the trip attack. That is actually from parry.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know that much about parry. Okay. Plus... I'm gonna even it. Plus... Okay. This man was bloodied before, honestly, but is now bloodied? He's definitely have his current health. Smashing into him on his turn somehow. 28, 26. But with his second strike, he just jams in for 14 points of health as he sinks them in. And with his last, probably, honestly, it all depends on how much damage you do the next round. Fury of Blows, potentially last Fury of Blows. He begins to just onslaught with attack again and again. Misses. Can you parry again?
No.
Okay. And 19.
Hits.
Yeah.
Oh.
For 10. And he just, man, how thematic would have that been if he hit directly 19? Which would be nearly impossible because the max he can do is 15. So he just slams in for 10 points of damage. Just barely on your legs, Aster. He not on his. Your go. Okay, 16, 19, advantage, 19 does hit. You slam into him for 13 points of damage. You can tell he is not long for this world if you continue this type of assault. But he's still kicking, if just barely. Uh, 26 does hit. You slam into him again. Oh wait, you already know. What am I doing? Reduce, branded. Still kicking. Flailing at this point. We're like just barely conscious. Reduce the downtime. Oh wow. Is there anything else you do, Aster?
How are we looking at this drowning situation?
I've been reducing his points based off of how much you've been hitting him and reducing it further and further. He's at 2 turns until he drowns, unless you hit him again. Unfortunately, people can hold their breath a long time if you have a good constitution. But I have been reducing it, because I'm going to assume you can only hold your breath so long as you keep getting hit, even as a hardy warrior. So I've been reducing it further and further, and now he's at 2 turns until he drowns. So either he finishes you next turn, or you finish him. You still have your bonus
I
action.
understood it, you can only hold your breath a number of rounds equal to your con mod.
I thought it was minutes.
Pretty sure it's rounds.
No, it's minutes.
Are we sure?
Holding breath D&D.
In combat.
Oh, and according to the player's handbook, a character can hold their breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus your constitution modifier. If you have a negative constitution modifier, they can hold their breath for 30 seconds. Holding breath combat. Oh wait, that's underwater combat. Holding breath combat. Are there any... The first thing I find is, are there any rules about taking damage while holding your breath? And it's from Reddit, so I'm not going to trust it.
That's fair. That's actually the correct.
Going to try to hit you again.